they've sparred together, they've trained together, they know each other's what their strengths are.
That's another reason why it leads to not a good fight.
But I will tell you this, I'm more sold on Ian than I am on Shavkat, just to be honest.
Co-main event being Ian Machado Garry going up against the Boogeyman, going up against Shavkat Rakhmonov. Gotta love that name.
John, all I've seen is Shavkat talking about, hey, there's video out there of Ian Garry being finished, tapping, this and that. Like, and also Brendan Allen saying there's video of him being slept at practice. No names were thrown out. No one talking about the names on who did this, person tapping them and the person putting him to sleep in terms of sparring. Look, putting him to sleep in sparring, look, that's something that it's happened. But the fact that it happened with 16-ounce gloves, I mean, it's happened to a lot of people. It happened to me one time. It's one of those things where it happens to a lot. It shouldn't, though.
No, it shouldn't, but it happens. I mean, there's things happen. Randy Couture, very good as far as bringing together people to train and do all these things. And, hey, and he always gives the speech, hey, let's take care of each other. We want to go hard, but we want to take care of each other. Let's not hurt each other. Let's be smart. Let's do this. Okay. He goes out and watch him. He throws a head kick and hits Scott Smith, knocks him out. And you look and you go, what the fuck was that? But those are the things that happen, and everyone knows, look, Randy's not a kicker and Scott Smith's got a pretty good chin, but shit happens. And it's in training, and it should stay in training. And that's a funny story because they're both way gone as far as their careers. But it happens, and it's training. And I never take anything that happens in training. When a guy says, "Oh, I tapped the guy in training," so what?
Yeah,
I mean, it means you caught him, and he was like, "I'm not going to get injured here," and he taps, and then you reset and go back to doing it again. I look at it. It's like.
That's what the conversation was. Shavkat saying, "Oh yeah, he tapped in sparring." Who cares? That's what you're. And also too, you're fully geared up in sparring. It's not hard to escape the hands from a rear naked choke or a guillotine or anything along those lines when you got 16-ounce gloves on. You got headgear on where it's all pulling up on your neck. I know guys that have tapped just because they got caught in a front guillotine. The guillotine wasn't on. The headgear
strap's choking them. Exactly. Happens all the time.
It happens all the time. So it's happened because of that.
I'm being honest. Look, you and I both watched the sparring thing that I guess upset him that it was put out there. He didn't do bad. And it's like, and what did we say? Look at they're going fucking soft. They're going easy. It's just they're touching. It's no big deal. Yeah. There's nothing there. I just look at it and it's like, look, they both know when they were in the gym together. They know what each other does. They know how good each other is. And they know where they think that they can win the fight. That's what has me in this. And I've said it before. I look at it, if it's Ian Garry winning the fight, it's going to be a boring fight. I'm sorry. Now, I don't want it to be, but I think he has to make it that way because he has to keep Shavkat at range and get him frustrated and just pick him apart with volume. Don't try to hit him with the big shots. It's going to put you out of position. Just keep touching him and frustrate him. If Shavkat wins, it could be exciting because he's going to get a choke. He's going to get the fight to the ground, and he's going to end up getting either a guillotine choke. He gets rear naked chokes all the time. He moves to the back well. I'm not saying that Garry doesn't know what he's doing on the ground. He does, but Shavkat's got that pressure. It seems like he's able to, he is able to get a finish on everybody. Sometimes it's not a submission, but many of his wins are. I just look at it, and this is one of those fights that I think it's a phenomenal fight, and one that I really give the UFC credit for putting together with both guys being undefeated. You got two guys there. You're going to give one a loss. Well, at least you should be. It could be ended up being a draw, but I doubt that. And I give him credit for putting it together. I'm not sure it's going to be the fight that people think it's going to be. And I've said that since it first came out.
The only thing that makes it may end up being a really good fight is they've sparred together, they've trained together, they know each other's what their strengths are.
That's another reason why it leads to not a good fight.
Which is weird that you say that. Like, I feel like all my best fights have been against guys that I've fought more than once. And those end up being really good fights. Now, look, there may be a little bit of difference because you have the John Jones and the Rashad Evans situation, right? Where they train together, they know what each other's good at. So one doesn't want to take a chance, and they both don't want to take a chance in making a mistake. This could be something similar to that. I get it. I just feel like it's pretty clear cut on how this fight needs to go. Ian Garry needs to stick and move, stay on the outside if he wants to get this win. He cannot afford with his back against the fence. He can't afford to get into wrestling matches. But look, Ian Garry is no slouch on the ground. I believe he's training with Charles Oliveira and those guys now, right down there.
Yep.
That being said, his grappling's probably come a long way just in the year that he's been there. And look for him to make some big jumps and improvements that may be able to throw Shavkat off. He may be feeling really good. That's why he's like, look, I remember what it was like. We were close in training. Maybe I was a little bit behind. Maybe I was a little bit ahead. But regardless, now I'm a different fighter. My grappling's better. My takedown defense is better. And if I look at him and I look at the way Charles Oliveira fights, they fight nothing alike, but they have similar body styles.
Yeah.
And in terms of like, hey, how I can use the weapons that I have, the long limbs, the long legs, the triangles, the kimuras, the side chokes, the guillotines, all those things can be caught in some sort of transition. And what we've seen with Shavkat is, and I know that people always rag on me about this because of the Chimaev situation as well. I'm not fully sold on him yet. Look, he's good.
Are you fully sold on Ian Machado?
I'm not fully sold on him either. But I will tell you this: I'm more sold on Ian than I am on Shavkat. Just to be honest.
Okay.
Just to be honest. And look, people are like, "Oh, well, Shavkat finished Jeff Neal."
Yes, he did.
But I also look at Ian Garry. It felt like an easier fight for him. It looked smoother. Things seemed smoother in that fight for him. And
he was more in control of the fight.
Yes.
Throughout.
Whereas Shavkat has enough holes in his games for Ian Garry to potentially exploit. And I think the fast twitch, the herky jerky movements and technique of Ian Garry may throw Shavkat off a little bit. Shavkat can be hurt. People think like, oh, he can't be hurt. There's past video of him being hurt, sure, early in his career. Anybody can be hurt. This is one of those things where Ian can catch him dipping his head. Ian can catch him with some boxing and kickboxing. He can catch him with kicks or elbows, whatever it is in this mix. Let's not forget the rules now are changed. It's got to be the whole 3-point butt system, knees down. It can't just be one hand down. All this. It's like there could be some mistakes left in there that you never know. And so that's something to consider too. Is if Shavkat doesn't get the takedown, they end up in the clinch. I'm going to lean towards Ian Garry being better in the clinch and the elbows and the knees and all those things more so than Shavkat. So I look at this fight. It's a great fight. I'm glad they're able to put it together. Two guys that are undefeated. Going to be a fantastic fight. I agree with you, John. I know I was pretty long-winded in saying I agree with you, but guess what? Ian's going to have to win a more of a boring fight. Maybe potentially can catch him with a knockout if he, with a head kick or a good combination to clip him and put him down and maybe try to finish him. Shavkat, if he's going to win, I think he's going to have to catch him in some sort of transition submission. I don't think he's basically going to work his way methodically to the back and then choke him that way. I think he's going to have to catch Ian Garry while making a mistake in transition on the takedowns or turning and getting back up to his feet. Shavkat jumps on the guillotine, is able to get to his back and then choke him. That's how I see that fight going. But Dave, show us what the odds are on this fight. Oh, never mind, Dave. I've got it because you don't speak English. Okay, plus 255 is Ian Garry at over 2.5 at minus 165, and Shavkat Rakhmonov at minus 355. The under 2.5 at plus 135.
That is telling you, man, the odds maker absolutely believe Shavkat is going to win this fight. They think that's a heavy favorite at minus 355. That's a heavy favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised, but it is a fight. It's a 5-round fight also, right?
I believe so. Dave, can you look that up for us, buddy? But I believe it is a 5-round fight.
Yeah. Which is good. It should be. You're looking at this because
let's see. Just it's not telling us how many rounds.
If you're in the comments section, go ahead and drop us. Is it a 5-round fight? Have you guys heard it's a 5-round fight?
I believe it's a 5-round fight.
I think it is.
But
don't. Come on, guys. You're letting us down over here. Let's go. Shavkat by knee to the liver. 5 Rizzies is what Zach Jackson said. Zach, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for it. 5 Rizzies. And then Dave Sandine. I think I'm saying it right. Sandine? I think I'm saying it right. Sandin or Sandine?
Sandine sounds better.
Sandine sounds better.
Sandine.
I am not biased against Shavkat. Okay, look, I got to stop reading the
Yes,
comments. We got the
you're
5 Rizzies out of
biased.
it. I want to thank you guys
You
so
are
much.
biased as hell.
Sheesh. But John, look, that is a heavy favorite. Rakhmonov at minus
That is.
355. I wonder if they talked to Henry Hoof and was like, "Hey, how did the sparring used to go?" I always wondered if betting people have insiders and they like run to those insiders, people that are in the gym going, "Yeah, man, I used to watch these guys." Man.
Of course they do.
Oh man,
of course they do.
Oh jeez, calling our coaches and getting this skizzy on this, huh? Those bags. This episode is brought to you by BetUS. Make sure you guys YouTube 150 for the promo code. Also, Element, use the link in the descriptions down below. Any product you buy from there, they will send you a bonus package of product if you use our link down below. Element's amazing, man. I love it. And I want to say thank you, man. Thank you guys so much for continuing to support us.